Hello, David Zritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. So today I'm off on another adventure all around Washington, D.C. and Bond in Motion. You remember that other video where I said it had more facets than a diamond and diamonds are forever? Well, it does. There's more parties, there's more celebration. And because of that, I thought I would sort of mix up this video and not just make it about covering those events. I thought I would show you sort of a day in the life of someone that follows the Bond lifestyle. We haven't done something like this in a long time. You know, there's certain preparation, there's choices to be made with style and clothing and packing and travel, all those little things. It's all part of the Bond lifestyle if you let it, right? It's all a psychological thing. So first of all, I worked with a few brands to make this just a little bit more interesting and fun. Why am I doing that weird thing with my shoulders? Probably because on my shoulders, I have the first brand that I worked with, All Brown. Great friends, known them since, gosh, 2012. And we together curated a look for today's first part of the excursion. Everything from this top right here, which is a nice Milano wool blazer, perfect in this kind of transitional weather where it's still a little cool, but it's going to get there. It's going to get warm. You'll see. And because of that, I'm wearing this amazing polo underneath that is part silk and part cotton. And then I've got a pair of trousers as well. So I'm fully decked out in All Brown. To tie this together, because we wanted to make this navy, we wanted to make this kind of Bond colors. Colors always came into play, but fabric, hand, obviously the way it looked on me, my body type, all came into play. And then I'm wearing my Aqua Terra because the Skyfall blue goes really well with this, as well as what I'm wearing this evening, which you will see. Now, that all being said, I got to pack. It is an overnight. I'm going to be staying at the world-famous Pendry Hotel, which has a certain Bond secret lean, which we'll go over when we get there. You'll see. But because of that, my good friends from Bennett and Winch said, you know something, you've got the hold all that might be a little bit too much for this time around because it's an overnight. You're not going to need all those things. So check out what they sent me for this celebration. Okay, now I'm opening this for the first time in front of you. And again, this is all part of the Bond lifestyle when you're traveling. You can hear the crunch of that package, and it's a big package. Oh my gosh. I feel like Bennett Winch do not have small packages. But this is something that, again, when you connect with these brands, it's not just about purchasing something. It's very often working with them on what you're going to be adventuring in, your mission, etc. Nice big box. We're going to take the top off. I'm starting to smell what's in here already. Like, what are you talking about? There's a wonderful, proudly designed by both Robins. That's the logo on there, the Robins. Little crunchy paper. Always. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh wow, that's new. It's a nice newspaper. I will read that when I have a moment, but here it is. And it always comes in these wonderful, you know, sort of packing cases that, you know, you can either protect your case or just keep it in storage. I know some people, talk about Bond lifestyle, that actually use these as laundry bags. I know, when they travel and otherwise. Oh, the smell of leather just filled my office. Okay, so here we go. Now let me tell you what you're looking at right now. This is something that I've had my eye on for some time, and I'm really excited to get there, but this is their commuter bag. Now, how is this different than the hold-all bag that you've seen before? And you're like, David, couldn't you have just used the interior duffel of the hold-all bag? The answer is yes, but it's a little big. It's a little big for an overnight. This is smaller. It's quite a bit smaller, and it is the perfect size for a quick overnight. Let's say I'm going to Chicago overnight for business. If I'm going to New York City overnight, maybe even 2 nights. Now that I see what this looks like, oh, the leather smells great. And by the way, we got to talk about the leather on here because I was nervous. This is me being very transparent with you. When we were talking and they said, hey, why don't you try the pebbled leather one, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love leather, but I was thinking it's going to be so heavy. And they said, David, come on. You know, we're professionals. We've done this before. What they did was they took the thickness of the leather and they leaned it down. So it's not as heavy as you would have a full fatted out leather duffel. And it is maybe like point something ounces more than the twill one. And because of that, this ain't heavy at all. That's one thing I was a little bit nervous about. It's got these heavy duty zippers, by the way. And, oh yeah, okay. So this is for the shoulder strap. Now what I was really interested in, fascinated if you will, let me kind of make sure the mouth is open in this. Is that the right term? There's a few things in here. And by the way, I ain't cutting. This is as if you're in the room. This is part of the Bond lifestyle. Inside there, you can see it's got a place to hold your computer. Over here, I've got I'll call it an executive backpack, which is generous to say that. But I put my computer in there, I've got all these things, but then I'm like gonna have a duffel and I have a backpack, and I'm like, oh, suddenly my overnight or my running for the plane is getting a little bit laborious. I said laborious, I don't regret it. But this time I can put all my business executive accoutrements, my laptop in there. It's got all these wonderful little pockets sort of hidden, but check this out, hold on. This, I'll flip it around. This bag right here that you see attached to the side, that is a waterproof bag. Hold on, get ready for the Q branch moment. It comes out. So I could put shoes in there, I could put a dock kit, anything that I want to be separated from my other fineries. And then of course, you've got this gaping maw of a bag. On the side here, what I love about this is it's not always convenient to jump into a duffel bag and you get this like Felix the Cat black hole of things. You're digging around in there, you're trying, is that an old tissue? Did I find a crunchy tissue? That ain't a prize. So this small pocket on the side is perfect for keys, lip balm, your wallet, little things, a pen. So all of your kit can kind of be here and just grab and go, grab and go. I love that aspect to it. We're going to give this a field test in the wild, traveling to Washington, D.C. as part of the celebration of Bond in Motion. So what I've got to do now is pack all my stuff into here. That's going to be the first part of the test. Let's do it. All right, what I like to do is I like to put the heaviest things on the bottom. So I'm going to be putting my shoes. Now, these aren't just any shoes. These are Karakin & Jones Tetbury. So they're boots. I mean, this is really putting this duffel to the test. So we're going to put in the boots and I stagger them. What I mean by staggering is I put them almost like a Tetris piece. So they're not on top of each other, but they're at the bottom where they kind of sit there so they don't smash all the other clothes. And then, of course, I have the clothes. I'm going to teach you a little bit of a technique. I always pack the clothing. Sometimes I'll sort of pack them together in an overlap. You've seen some of my other packing videos, but I'll usually pack the first part of the clothing off to one side for the things I'm going to be wearing the next day, because I don't need to get to them too readily. Anything I'm going to be wearing in the evening, I'll sort of pack to the other side. And this way, for example, I've got this extra Tom Ford shirt in case I need it. This way I have it separated nicely, and you can see, again, this is a smaller bag than the hold-all one, but you can still see that I've got plenty of room. I have not filled this to capacity, but then I'm going to have my dock kit. And oh, look at that. It happens to be a Bennett Lynch dock bag. What are the odds of that? But it is. And as you can see, I can fill this up. It's just an overnight, so it's not loaded with stuff. You could fill it up, or it also goes flat, which I really, really like on this. You've got the same type of brass hardware, and then I'll put that on top. Now, I can put this into my waterproof bag that it came with, and probably will, as just a little bit extra protection in case something leaks. All right, well, guess what? I'm fully loaded, as they say. I'm gonna put all this together. Wait for it. Wait for it. All right. You know something, folks? It's about that time, and the next time I speak to you, I'll be in Washington, D.C. I'll see you there.
Like a couple glasses of water as well.
I'm good, thank you.
You're welcome. Here we are.
Thanks.
Enjoy your steak ice.
Okay, so let me just tell you what just happened. Essentially, when you check in, there is a non-alcoholic, almost mocktail sitting there by the check-in, and the person checking you in, could I say check-in more, gives you a password. Today happened to be leap year was the password. It's a very James Bond moment, but then you can take that drink and bring it to the bartender who you just saw, and he will mix you up a cocktail with your drink. He'll actually spike it for you. A very James Bond type moment. You can already start to see the parts and pieces of what the Pendry's all about and why this is one of the sponsor hotels. That's some good drink. All right, we're settled into the Pendry hotel room right now. They've got our bags all situated. Really quick in, very hospitable service. Oh, hello. Very nice bar that we have set up there. That's my favorite tequila. I quite like that. Very stocked fridge. Beautiful, large bed. Quite like how they did the wall too, but then this kind of takes the cake. I mean, look at this view. And by the way, the room is angular, it's rounded, beautiful furniture. Danielle's Globetrotter right there. And we have the beautiful wharf. Look at this view. This is, well, this is a view to a kill. They confirmed our wonderful reservation tonight at a restaurant called Moonraker. So we'll be taking a look around the hotel as part of the celebration. So we just had a knock on the door and received a very nice welcome letter for the general manager and a box. What's in the box? Oh, very nice. Aha! Chocolate. I'm going to have to share that with a certain somebody. No sharing. Danielle's going to get it all. They look lovely. What a wonderful, wonderful welcome. Okay, I am suited and booted. We're actually here on the rooftop at a restaurant appropriately called Moonraker. I know. It's kind of a boutique type restaurant. We're going to explore it. And the Pendry has been good enough to give Danielle and I a meal complete from concept to delivery. So we're going to experience that. But before we do that, I'm fully outfitted tonight for James Bond. We got to go over this because it's all a part of that Bond lifestyle and thinking about what am I going to wear to a big party at Bond in Motion. I was this close to wearing my Anthony Sinclair Goldfinger white ivory dinner jacket, black pants, do the whole works. And then I said, you know what, David, just be relaxed. You know, do sort of that, you know, elevated casual look, no tie. And that's what I did. I have a Sea Island cotton shirt on. This suit should be very recognizable to you because it's the No Time to Die one from Tom Ford. Yeah, it's just, it's not like the one in the movie because, It doesn't have all the accoutrements on it. But of course I have my Aquaterra Skyfall and then my Tetbury boots, as well as the socks from London Sock Exchange. So we're ready to go, but listen, I'd stay out here talking to you about style and fashion all day, but we have food to eat. We're gonna go check it out. So, my beautiful wife noticed that there are amazing Aston Martins outside. I would have walked right by these. Beautiful color. What kind is that, a copper or brass?
It's hard to tell on this.
And then absolutely stunning. Even in the low lighting, it looks amazing. But of course, we're now heading into the party of all parties. Hey, hon, go up and touch it. Touch it if you like. Let's see what happens. Sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes the sharks.
Like sharks.
Oh! Oh! So check out the paint on this. And Danielle took one look at this. Hon, you love the paint on this? What do you think? Does it smell of 1970s? Bow, bow, chicka bow.
Oh, it sparkles like diamonds.
Sparkly.
It is so sparkly.
It shines like a diamond. Pretty. This is one that everybody online said that they would want to drive to work, complete with shotguns.
So that's by like Garda?
Yes, we drove there.
Yes.
And I think I even put on the appropriate music when we were driving.
I'm sure you did.
Well, I mean, what's the point of living if you can't feel alive? But can you believe how beaten up that is? Look at this, hon.
Well, yeah, you saw the ceiling, right?
Yeah.
I'll be taking a picture.
This is Danielle's favorite, the Tuk Tuk, just because it looks fun. It does look fun. So they've actually brought out things from their vault, like some of the games, some of the vintage games, some of the dolls, just so people can get sort of their hands on. Very nice. So sometimes at these events you have these wonderful happy accidents. Gentlemen, I was looking at the Parahawk behind us, and this gentleman came up to me. Can you explain why you walked up to me?
Well, I heard from Dexter, who we were talking to earlier, that you would be floating around this event, and saw you floating around with your camera and decided to tap you on your shoulder while you were videoing.
Yeah.
And decided to introduce myself. I'm Nick Visho. This is my father, Nick Visho, as well. And we're the producers of this aircraft that you see behind us.
That's amazing. So your family, your company,
built these.
That's correct. We built, we had a company called Helderberg Designs LLC, and we've been in business since 1998, and we produced the Blue Heron powered parachute. And we were discovered by Eon Productions, and they were looking for aircraft to make a villainous look for The World Is Not Enough.
Oh my gosh.
They took one to the studio and designed the cowling around it, and then this was sent back to us. So this is our machine on loan.
Oh, this is yours?
Spy Museum.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
This is from our home.
So that conjures up so many questions. So did you have to make multiple ones for the movie then?
The film, there were 17 in the movie altogether.
Wow.
Many of which were just kind of blown up or whatever happens to be. And but actually, Nick and I assembled one in Florida prior to the event, and it was the first one sent over to do the patterning for the body.
Oh my gosh.
That. And then Alan Hewitt, then we met Alan Hewitt through this whole event. Alan Hewitt is a stunt pilot,
right,
who does a lot of the parachute jumping and base jumping things for a lot of the feature films that you hear about. And he worked with Simon Crane, who was the...
I know him well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Simon Crane, I talked to Simon Crane during this event. A tumultuous time. But anyway, Alan Hewitt became a good friend of ours.
Right.
And became a dealer for us in the UK. And that's how, anyway, it's kind of the whole relationship.
All right, so I've got some psychological Barbara Walters-like questions for you.
Uh-oh.
So as a family, knowing that your family work, your artisanship, if you will, is in a Bond film, what does that do for you from a mindset?
I'm having a martini.
Yeah,
we're here,
causes you to drink is what it does. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, to see your art, to see your engineering. I'm an engineer from RPI.
Gosh.
So this body, well, I have this drawn in full 3D as well.
You're Q Branch. I mean, you can literally say that you are Q Branch, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So one of the things I really like about the exhibit is you get this kind of full-on poster look. Now, this is not nothing. It's important because a lot of the aspects of the poster, the artwork, are really important to the world of Bond. And by the way, the crowd tonight, you've got about 120 people coming to this celebration. You can see the room. All walks of life and all types of influence. But they're here to see one thing, and that is the vehicles of James Bond. Yes, this is real. And by the way, it doesn't matter if you love boats or if you love Diamonds Are Forever, maybe you're one of those individuals, or you love a beautiful roadster like the Z8, like I've always craved. There's something for everybody here at Bond in Motion. Incredibly rare things. For example, I've talked to people that have never seen Tracy's Cougar, and yet Tracy's Cougar is here in all of its glory. Now, I know that the International Spy Museum was incredibly excited to have one vehicle back in particular, and that is Zhao's Jaguar, because they had it in the Exquisitely Evil, and now it's back. So it's almost like a lost child finding itself. But my heart is within certain vehicles, like, I don't know, the BMW 750iL from Tomorrow Never Dies, because it's one of my favorite movies. It's one of the ones, when I talk about Bond lifestyle, that really set the pace of everything that we do. And then you've got the Neptune. This is a rescue story. It's something that the Ian Fleming Foundation rescued. It really started the Ian Fleming Foundation in rescuing other boats. And speaking of boats, this is one that's probably one of the largest vehicles here. It's the Glastron from Moonraker. I know, Moonraker. Now listen, this is a grower, not a shower. This is a movie that has become more popular over time with people, and why not? It's pure gooey fun, and we need escapism. We need that fun even when it's a little, I don't know, crazy? I mean, Die Another Day is crazy. Rockets, invisible cars, it's all that type of stuff. But if we're going to be surrounded by the Bond lifestyle, we're talking Skyfall Aquaterras, then you need to drink in, for example, the motorcycle. Yeah, the motorcycles used in Skyfall. If there's one vehicle, and everybody has this, if there's one vehicle that, if I had a dream, if I had a wish that I could take home, it wouldn't be Roger Moore's boat. No, it would be this vehicle right here. Yes, the Quantum of Solace Aston Martin DBS Shore. It's a little shot up. It's a little bullet-ridden. Who isn't? So am I. I'm a little beaten up too. So I feel a lot of affinity to this car, but look at the detail of this thing. It just brings me right back to the movie. And what I love about this is the exhibit allows you to get so up close and personal. You can actually look into the bullet holes. You can see the console for the very first time. And if that isn't satisfying enough, you can actually ride, physically ride and get on the Skidoo from Die Another Day. Now, for some crazy reason, some people like silly slapstick. Danielle's favorite vehicle in this whole place, and I mean her favorite vehicle, the tuk-tuk from Octopussy. So, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. This is almost like a forgiveness-free zone. You've got, for example, the Hornet that actually crashed through. This is the one that crashed through the test drive. There's still little glass shards that they're finding after all of these years. And although the world is not enough, is not far behind, it's still here in all its glory, only to be upstaged by the boat from Live and Let Die. So when we pull it all together, the question remains, how on earth are you going to decide which one is your favorite vehicle? You got to come here to the International Spy Museum to figure it all out. I'll see you there too. Well, there we have it. An amazing celebration. Food, fun, drink, people. I've met so many individuals tonight, different content creators in both style, automotive, and yes, James Bond. Even a few James Bond podcasters that I didn't even know existed, but I'm going to start following them. This is a celebration because we have to be honest. There isn't a ton out there for James Bond, especially in the United States. So we've got to take in every little morsel. It's like finding a Ritz cracker in a little Dixie cup full of water in the desert. We've got to take advantage of that. Are we starved? Maybe that's a little bit of extreme. But these type of moments are so important to us, both historically, from a nostalgic standpoint, and yes, even from a James Bond fan. So listen, there's more martinis to drink. There's some champagne. I'm going to take advantage of that. In the meantime, this has been David Zaritsky for the Bond. Listen, I'm so sorry to interrupt this video, but that's not the end, and I was about to end the video. You see, on the way out of the party, everybody was given a swag bag, and I know you all like to see swag bags and what's in it, and it's all part of the experience. So, Bond in Motion black bag. What's in the bag? And we're going to take a look. All right, here we go. Some nice silver paper. Oh, so right off the bat, we've got a International Spy drinking bottle, glass, cup, what have you. Oh, Danielle's going to love this. She got one as well. Secret stash, but look at that. That's really highly stylized, very fashionable. You can put all your secret stash in there. We've got a book. Ooh, Catherine Beto, Bond Cocktails, over 20 classic cocktail recipes. I have actually never seen this book. A Bond book I've never seen before. That's crazy talk. All right, I love it. Oh, here we go. So this is kind of the mantra of the International Spy Museum. It says, admit nothing, deny everything. Not a terrible policy, but a very cool pen, very unique to the museum itself. And the last thing in this bag, oh, they say good things come in small packages. Oh, this is gorgeous. Look at this. It is a keychain. Of course, that is the Aston Martin DB5, very appropriate for Bond in Motion, connected to a little Bond bullet. Thankfully, it doesn't say my name on it. No, in fact, it says the International Spy Museum. This is a very cool keychain and a keepsake. And who doesn't love a little bit of swag every now and then? My apologies. Let's go back to the video now. Bond experience, bringing you just a little bit of Bond lifestyle, mixed with a lot of Bond in Motion. And we'll see you real soon. Take care.
Thanks for watching this episode. If you want to be up on the latest from the Bond experience, just click on this subscribe and subscribe to our channel. You're going to get all the latest and greatest information, plus some exclusive content. And by the way, speaking of content, here's something especially for you, just because we know you. Talk to you soon.